The California Gold Rush began with a man named James Marshall on January 24, 1848. He was hired by John Sutter to build a sawmill, but while planning to build there, he saw a sparkle on the ground. It was gold. At first, John Sutter and James Marshall wanted to keep it a secret, but the story spread fast. Before you knew it, men from all over came to California in search of gold.
While so many people came to California looking for gold, most were not successful. The average person found about $6 to $10 a day. However, some became rich as soon as they got there. It kind of depended on where you were and when you were there. It wasn't easy work either. Miners worked 16 hours a day just to try to find an ounce of gold. It just really depended, again, where you were at or when you were there. The best chance you had is when you were looking for gold in 1848 to 1850 in the towns of Sacramento, San Francisco, and Sutter's Mills. It wasn't easy to discover gold.
How long have we been working?
About 16 hours.
I think we made about $8. You think that's good?
Yeah, I think that's a good day's work.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You want to head home?
Yeah.
Life in the camps wasn't easy for the settlers. 25% of the miners were not native to the U.S. They came from places like China, Mexico, Spain, and other European countries. 92% of the settlers were men of all ages. Mining wasn't easy either.
And we used to mine in many different ways. My favorite was taking the old pickaxe here and digging away. Some other boys like to pan, which to do this they put water and gravel in a pan and swished it around and the gold was left behind. But there were many different ways of panning. There was like the sloosh, which to do that you had to, it was a wooden box and the water ran through it and the gold was left behind. But I still don't say that the best way of mining is my old pickaxe Bessie.
Mining like this is how people in California made their money. While mining was hard work, it was the highlight of the day for the miners. The quality of life was not good for most. Only the rich had nice camps. To try to afford better camps, miners paired up to work together. However, many partnerships ended badly due to unfair division of gold. This led to many conflicts between miners. During the gold rush, there was an average of 2 miners killed per day. The victims of these attacks were foreigners.
And I'm from China. The minute I came to California for gold, I was treated unfairly. I was given an unfair share of land for a very high price. to go along with that, a lot of the men I came here with were murdered. A lot of the time for no reason. And we couldn't speak English because we didn't know it. And it was hard to communicate with them. Even the court system seemed to be against us. I'm sorry.
Although foreign settlers struggled the most, they certainly weren't the only ones. Due to inflation, food and other goods were very high priced. This led those who didn't find gold without food. The only thing men had at this point was a small, leaky tent. After long days of mining, miners had to keep themselves busy by doing other things. Some common things to do at the time were gambling, fighting, and banditry. Life in the mining camps certainly wasn't pretty. Even after the gold rush, California continued to be a booming state. California was eligible for statehood only 2 years after annexation. Just San Francisco's population alone increased from 800 to 25,000 in 2 years. Along with the rapid population growth came a growth in economy. After the gold rush, many people stayed to start businesses or other ways of life, such as farming and ranching. However, some problems came with such fast growth.
After the gold rush, many problems still hung around. Cultural differences remained a problem for the new settlers. Also, due to being in isolated states, goods could not be shipped out fast enough to satisfy the settlers.
While cultural differences remained in California, foreign settlers didn't have it the worst. No other group faced bigger struggles than the native Californios.
Californians welcomed the new settlers at first, hoping it would help them become a state. However, once the white men outnumbered the natives were soon pushed to the side. During the gold rush, the native population decreased by 100,000. This was due to foreign disease, mining accidents, and murders, which outnumbered over 4,000.
During the gold rush, there were two types of people: those who became rich and those who didn't, nowhere in between. Those that became rich and struck gold did many things. Most quit mining due to their success. Once they did, they either started businesses, went home to their families, sold their land and tools to new settlers, or spent all their earnings on gambling and lost it. On the other hand, those who didn't become rich either went home or found jobs in the West. Most that went home died due to lack of supplies and money. Many that decided to stay formed the culture that California still has today. Companies like Levi's Jeans started during the gold rush. Others started everyday businesses. People like this made California what it is today.